The Mizzou Communications Professor who tried to stop reporters from covering student protests has been charged with assault. In fact, she's been charged with third-degree assault. Let me give you the details on that. Now, Melissa Click is the professor's name, and Click was shown blocking reporters from a public space at the school's campus. Students who had gathered following the resignation of the university's president over racial tensions at the school declared the area a media-free safe space. So that's the reason why she wanted to get rid of the journalists that were there. Now, it's public land, this is a public university, and she wasn't supposed to be doing that. But she has been charged with third-degree assault because of what you're about to see in the video. So for those of you who didn't see it or forgot what happened, take a look.
No, you need to get out.
Well,
you need to get out.
No, I don't.
You need to get out.
I actually don't.
All right. Hey, who wants to help me get this reporter out of here? I need some muscle over here. Help me get him out. Who's going to help me?
Are you documenting? What are you doing?
I'm documenting.
Okay, well,
You need to get out.
you
need to get out.
This is public property.
And
It's
I
owned
know
by the
that's a really
university.
good one. I'm a communication faculty and I really get that argument. But you need to go. You need to go. You need to go.
So please respect these people's wishes. I think it's very simple.
I didn't see you respecting that reporter.
he wants to walk you out.
Now, after that happened, she resigned from her position as a professor. The administrators were going to have a vote as to whether or not to fire her, and she resigned before that vote even happened. And she did release an apology and said, I regret the language and strategies I used and sincerely apologize to the MU campus community and journalists at large for my behavior and also for the way my actions have shifted attention away from the students' campaign for justice.
Okay, so the whole thing was unfortunate, to say the least. The whole safe space stuff, honestly, it irritates me. I'm in the camp of freedom of speech and
Freedom of the press.
certainly freedom of the press in this case. But more broadly, that when you go to university, it's okay to be challenged. I think that it's actually great to be challenged. Now, some people in Missouri were not getting challenged, they were getting harassed with racial slurs. So that is not okay. And the community and the university should stand up for you. But that doesn't mean that you need a safe space where no one else can enter, right? To me, those are two enormously different things, right? And when you're a communications professor, and she was here as a courtesy appointment, and so before they got to fire her, she stepped aside from that, right? You got to know better than that. And so now in this case, is a third-degree assault warranted? Well, she did touch his camera.
Yeah.
And she did, hold on, and she did come in and say, I need some muscle over here, right? So all of that is deeply troubling. Now, I wouldn't have filed charges.
Yeah, I'm surprised that they did. I don't agree with her. I think that, especially as a communications professor, you should understand the importance of freedom of speech and freedom of the press. But assault is a serious charge, right? Assault, has this connotation of actually physically harming someone or attempting to physically harm someone. She tried to get rid of the camera. She shouldn't have put her hands on anyone, but I don't know if this really qualifies as assault. Maybe it's not for us to judge. Maybe this is something that, she'll deal with in court and they'll make a decision.
No. That's our job. It's our job to judge.
Right.
Okay. And in fact, I want to do a poll on this on the app so you guys judge along with us. Should she be charged with third-degree assault? Now, third-degree assault is not a huge deal. So she's not going to get a life sentence or anything like that.
It's a misdemeanor.
Yeah, it's a misdemeanor. So it's not even a felony. She's not going to get prison time. But still, that's very, very significant to put that on the record of someone, right? So, look, I feel like you got your pound of flesh. She's off the campus. She resigned. She apologized. Now to be like, oh, yes, here's your safe space. They're third-degree assault, right?
Yeah.
Okay, dude, you're right, and technically it is. She hit the camera. Yeah, we all agree she shouldn't have done it. You're adding insult to injury. I vote let her go. Let her go. Okay, what do you vote?
I also agree. Let her go. They should reevaluate whether or not she should be hired anywhere else as a communications professor, if you ask me.
That would be a lengthy interview process if I'm the one doing the hiring.
Exactly. But I think that she's suffered enough consequences for her actions.
Jared Jackson, what say you? Justice Jackson weighs in here. Is it going to be unanimous, or do we have a dissenting opinion? I know the control room is a well-known safe space.
Anything can be said in here. You know what? Fuck this chick. 2nd degree.
Okay, well, I needed a trigger warning before that. Okay. All right. Seriously, no, let her go.